the most important reasons are the frequent trials and temptations that is surrounding us. So we need to build our religious personality in order to maintain our religious personality, or at least to maintain ourselves without being attacked by the trials and temptations around us. And this is the most important one. The second one is, for many cases, many people, whenever they try to build a kind of relation or link between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after a while, they found that they are falling again. If you are keeping doing the good things, making the salawat, qiyam, siyam, and you are preventing yourself from doing sinful action, after 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, you will find that you are falling again. And you need to build from the start again. This is the second reason for us to build our religious personality. The third one is, it is a prerequisite and requirement for each individual. On the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, يَوْمَ تَأْتِي كُلُّ نَفْسٍ تُجَادِلُ عَنْ نَفْسِهَا, that every single soul is going to come on the day of judgment and argue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding what it has done in this dunya, or it had done in this dunya. This is the nafs, the soul, is going to do this. So you are going to make the argumentation based on what you have done in this dunya. So you have to build your religious personality in dunya to make some pillars for you before making into this detailed conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. Another reason it is important for the entire ummah. If the individuals, they could build themselves, build their religious personality, you will find that the entire ummah will be changed. And the last one, it is important for the generation and offspring that we are going to have, our children, our grandsons and so on. So this is very important topic, and the reasons are so many. These are the most important ones. How we can build our religious personality so that we maintain it through the trials, temptations, and even we maintain it after the collapsing of whatever that we have built. First, and the far most important part, is التقرب إلى الله عز وجل, that you should always get closer to Allah, approaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And approaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be there unless you have 3 different ways, 3 different links to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, based on which you can get closer to Him. The first one is a'mal al-qulub, the hearts. As we have explained before in many lectures about the heart, how to cleanse your heart. And the second part is related to your tongue. وَأَعْمَالِ الْجَوَارِحِ means that things related to your tongue, the way that you are speaking, the way that you are making the dhikr, and the way that all of your limbs are doing the actions for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should think about this. Something inner, or something that is hidden inside you, and something outside you. And this cannot be done unless you do 3 main things. The first one, getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by al-fara'id, means that by doing the compulsory and obligation upon you. Al-fara'id means that to commit to do all the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the salawat, siyam, and zakah, and forbidding yourself from doing the sinful actions. These are the most important part of the entire story. That you need to put yourself away from the sinful action so that you can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is very similar to a person that is building a huge building, and another one is collapsing it, another one is digging it, and another one is trying to do whatever possible way for collapsing or preventing this building from going up. So you need to be careful about this, that you should always be on the right path regarding making the obligation and compulsory things. And the most important one, which is the daily prayers. You can measure anything by the daily prayers, as we said. Even that we are comparing it to Ramadan or Hajj or Zakah or Sadaqat or whatever, you will find the daily prayers are considered to be the parameter based on which it can give to you the guidance, whether you are right or wrong. Your iman is going, increasing or decreasing or declining. So prayers are or the most important part of this fara'id, or the compulsory actions. And you need to take care of it. Look to yourself how you are taking care of the fara'id, the salawat, and then I can tell you about your iman. It's a direct link between the two. The second point regarding التقرب إلى الله عز وجل, getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إقامة النوافل, that volunteering work in general. Some people, they are looking to Islam in general. There are some commands from Allah and we should obey. Other people which having the higher level of iman, they are looking to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to us as a guidance. And we are followers or following. These two patterns, they are slightly different. They are not the same. Even that, looking to the commands of Allah as an obligation, it's important for us. We have to feel that there is a command from Allah and we need to follow it unless we are going to be punished. But the point that if you could get closer and approach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will find a different level, a different platform that you are putting your foot in, which is mahabba, which is the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And loving of Allah will not come unless you are doing volunteering work. Nawafil, in general. Look to yourself after the salah. Are you doing nawafil or not? Look to yourself other than Ramadan. Are you making fasting in other days other than Ramadan or not? Like Sha'ban, for example. Look to the zakah. Are you making charitable works and actions or giving charity other than the zakah or not? Some people, they are not looking even to this kind of zakah and so on. They said that I'm not having enough money, or I do not have the obligation to do so. No, it's not anymore. You are, even that you're a student, you have at least amount of money, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving it to you. Look how you are spending it. And look how much you are spending in trivial things. And compare it with other charity work that other people they are doing. We have charity for the masjid, for example. Look to yourself. Did you do anything for this? Maybe for many people, no. They do not care. So we have to think about this. The extra work is very important for you to obtain this kind of level, which is al-mahabba, which is the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالْفَرَائِضِ بِالنَّوَافِلِ حَتَّى أُحِبَّهُ. That still my slave is going to get closer to me by doing the extra and volunteering work until I love him. This is a hadith Qudusi. This is a narration that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam narrated from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the second level. The third one is be careful from changing al-ibadah ila ada. Be careful from changing the act of worshipping to be a habitual work. Some people, they are doing every action or worshipping act as a habitual work. Coming to the masjid, going from the masjid, that's it. Just his body is coming and his body goes back again to his lap. Where is your soul? Where is your heart? It's not there. So this is ada. This is a habitual work. You are not going to be rewarded for habitual work. Only your body is coming and going. This is okay, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would reward you with this amount. But if your soul and heart are not there, your mind even not here, then you are not going to have the full reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding this. So be careful of this. Do not fast in Sha'ban, for example, just because it is something for you to just preparing without having the heart and mind in it. No, try to make this ada or this kind of habitual work as an action of worshipping to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the niyyah, with the sincerity. You will find it completely changed. Regarding this point also, تقرب إلى الله عز وجل, be careful from doing the extra volunteering work and putting aside the obligation ones. Some people, they like, for example, especially in Ramadan, some people, they join the Taraweeh. but they do not perform Fajr prayer. Some people, they are doing everything good in the day of Ramadan because they are fasting. But after the sunset, they are doing everything they want. Actually, this kind of controversial personality, you will find that you are losing the greatest point of the ibadah, which is hub, that you are not going to love what you are doing. It is, as I said, it is considered to be a command and you want to follow. But your heart, your mind, your soul are not there. So do not expect that you feel the sweetness of Iman by doing so. Another point regarding التقرب إلى Allah is focusing on the limbs actions. أعمال الجوارح means that you are always concerned with your body, even in salawat and siyam and so on. But you neglect the actions or the hearts or the mind things. So most of the people, they are falling into this trap. Try to sit with yourself. Try to sit with yourself. Try to think how to cleanse your heart, how to reclaim your heart and mind in order to make a corrosionless link between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is very important. Look how much time you are spending on any other things in this dunya. And the most important part, which is your link between you and your Lord, you are not even thinking about it. You are neglecting, totally neglecting. Think and sit for this. Think about yourself. This is what we call the self-reckoning. Did I do all the obligations? Did I do the volunteering work that is needed from me on this day or not? You have to think and you have to ask yourself about this. If you're not going to ask yourself, then you're going to find yourself in the day of judgment helpless. There is nothing for you. So try to remember this. The second point regarding التقرب إلى الله عز وجل is al-mujahada, striving against your nafs and the Satan. There are two enemies for anybody, and they are attacking you in every single second that you're living. In every single second that you're living. Which are the desires, the nafs, and the Satan, ash-shaytan. They are sitting for you for any kind of action that you're doing, even though that you are doing good things, even that in the salah. Even that you are coming to the salah and you are performing the salah, you will find that Satan is coming and whispering to you. You have to strive. You have to strive it. And how you can strive it? First of all, dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frequently. Because your enemy is frequently attacking. So you need to frequently defend. Otherwise, people who are not making this kind of frequent dhikr, they are falling into this trench that they are being attacked by shaitan and their nafs frequently. And they do not have any defensive lines. So it's very easy for you, the kind of desire thoughts and sinful actions and thoughts are occupying your mind and your heart. Very easy. This is why many people, they are complaining that they said that I do everything. I go to the masjid and I make everything that is obligation upon me, but whenever there is something considered to the temptation or related to the temptation and shahawat and desires, they are falling directly. Why? Because they are not building their religious personality. They are not defending themselves frequently. So the attack is always there and the threat is always there. Unless you make these defensive lines to be frequently alerted, then you are not going to pass. And the next point regarding the pillars or the factors for building your religious personality is al-ikhlas, sincerity. One of the diseases for most of the people that whenever they are doing good thing, they like to be flattered. They like people to thank them for what they have done, especially for volunteering work. If someone is doing something as a service for the other people, for example, and he claims that this is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but actually there is hidden part in his heart and mind that he waiting for the flattering of the people. He wants people to thank him and say, Alhamdulillah, brother, this is not Actually, I'm not waiting for this, but actually he's waiting for this. Remember that whenever you are doing any action, you should do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should always look to flattering and criticism as both. They are not going to take any part of your niyyah. Do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as much as you can. Another point is to forget whatever you have done after you have done it. I mean that if you did something good for the sake of Allah, do not remind yourself with it. Do not remind other people that I have done this for you. No, do it for the sake of Allah and forget it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would remind you with this kind of action in the Day of Judgment. Do not remind yourself with the good actions. Always be concerned with yourself and sinful actions. How to get rid of them. Next point is al-ihtimam biqabul al-amal an al-amal nafs. Means that you should always be concerned with the acceptance of your deed over than or compared to the deed itself. This is the samt of the Sahaba. This is the way of the Sahaba. They were doing every possible action that you could imagine, from salah, siyam, qiyam, and everything. And they were hesitant whether that their deeds and actions are going to be accepted or not. This is the righteous predecessors and the Sahaba. Now we are doing the salah and we come out of the masjid, hey, we done a great thing. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should grant me Jannah because of this. Who did say to you that your salah is accepted? Who did say that you have a sincere niyyah for the salah, or siyam, or qiyam, or giving the charitable work? Nobody guarantees for you this. So you should be concerned with this, the acceptance of the deed over the deed itself, even that the deed is so little. That's very important for us to follow. And the last thing is ikhfa'u ta'at, that try to hide the good actions. Whenever you did something, do not show off. Do not go to the people and say that I have done this and I have done that. I have a 3 hours night prayer yesterday. I went to the masjid and I served the people there. I prayed all the tarawih, for example, in this masjid. Do not mention too much about your good deeds. Try to hide them as much as you can. This is things between you and Allah. And if you are emphasizing on showing it off, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would take from it the barakah, and you will not be granted the reward for it. So these are the important things, and inshallah in the second sermon I'm going to continue with the couple of points regarding building the religious personality. استغفر الله العظيم استغفر الله وادعوه وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة.